Picture this: someone you loved, trusted, maybe even called family, looks you in the eyes, smiles, and then betrays you. That sting doesn't just hurt, it shatters your soul, leaving you wondering, was I not enough? Why me? If betrayal has ever cut you deep, this is for you. Welcome to Jung Psyche Hub, where we're diving into Carl Jung's raw truth about betrayal. It's not your fault. And those who betray you will never find peace. Betrayal feels like a theft of your trust, your heart, your worth. It's the friend who spilled your secrets, the partner who broke their vows, the ally who turned their back. That pain can make you question everything. But Carl Jung saw betrayal as more than a wound. It's a glimpse into the shadow, the hidden darkness in us all. When someone betrays you, they're acting out their unhealed fears, projecting their chaos onto you, and while you're left picking up the pieces, they lose something. They can't replace their peace. This 40-minute journey will uncover why betrayal happens, why betrayers are haunted by their choices, and how you can transform pain into power. Through 5 chapters, we'll explore the soul wound of betrayal, the cost to those who hurt you, how Carl Jung's shadow work heals, why loyalty is your superpower, and how gratitude sets you free. With stories like Lisa's, whose best friend broke her trust, you'll see you're not alone, and you're not broken. You're rising, ready to uncover the truth. Let's start with Chapter 1. Betrayal doesn't just sting, it slices through your soul, leaving a wound no one can see. It's not the kind of pain you can bandage or explain away. It's the friend who shared your deepest secrets with the world, the partner who broke their vows behind your back, or the family member who turned against you when you needed them most. What makes betrayal so devastating isn't just the act, it's the hands that delivered it. These are the people you trusted, loved, maybe even built your life around. And when they shatter that trust, it feels like they've stolen a piece of you. But here's what Carl Jung, the master of the human psyche, wants you to know. Betrayal isn't just a personal attack, it's a window into the shadow, the hidden darkness within us all. In this chapter, we're diving into why betrayal hurts so deeply, how it's tied to the shadow, and why this wound is the first step toward uncovering your true strength. Let's start with the pain. When someone betrays you, it's not just your heart that breaks, your entire sense of reality shifts. You replay moments, searching for clues you missed. Did I do something wrong? Was I too trusting? That self-doubt is what makes betrayal so cruel. It turns the knife inward, making you question your worth, your judgment, even your ability to love. Carl Jung saw this as more than emotional fallout. He believed betrayal triggers a confrontation with the shadow, the parts of our psyche we hide, like insecurity, fear, or unhealed wounds. For the betrayer, their shadow drives the act. Maybe it's greed, cowardice, or a buried resentment they never faced. For you, the betrayed, the pain forces you to face your own shadow, perhaps a fear of abandonment or a need for validation. This clash of shadows is why betrayal feels like a soul wound. It's not just personal, it's primal, echoing the collective pain of broken trust across generations. To make this real, let's meet Lisa, a 32-year-old graphic designer from Chicago. Lisa shared her deepest fears with her best friend, Claire, someone she considered a sister. They'd spent years supporting each other through heartbreak, job losses, and dreams. But one day, Lisa learned Claire had shared her private struggles, details about her anxiety and past trauma, with mutual friends to gain social clout. The betrayal hit like a tidal wave. Lisa felt exposed, humiliated, and alone. She couldn't sleep. haunted by questions. Why would she do this? Was our friendship a lie? Lisa's pain wasn't just about Claire's actions, it was about the trust she'd placed in her. Now shattered, she began doubting her ability to connect with others, wondering if she was too open, too vulnerable. Carl Jung would say, Lisa's pain was a call to face her shadow. In his view, the shadow isn't just our flaws, it's everything we push away, including parts of ourselves we don't want to see. For Lisa, her shadow included a deep fear of rejection. Rooted in childhood experiences of being overlooked, Claire's betrayal brought that fear screaming to the surface. But here's where Carl Jung's wisdom shines. The shadow isn't your enemy. It's a teacher. Betrayal forces you to look at the parts of yourself you've ignored, not to shame you, but to help you grow. Lisa started working with a Jungian therapist, using dream analysis to explore her pain. In one dream, she saw herself standing in a dark forest, surrounded by whispering voices. When she asked the voices what they wanted, they replied, "See us." Through this, Lisa realized her betrayal wasn't just Claire's doing, it was a mirror reflecting her own need to trust herself more than others. This is the paradox of betrayal. It feels like destruction, but it's also an invitation. Carl Jung believed every crisis, especially one as raw as betrayal, is a chance for individuation, the process of becoming your true self. When someone betrays you, they don't define your worth. They expose the parts of you that need healing. Your pain isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof of your capacity to love deeply, to trust fiercely. The betrayer may have acted from their shadow, but you don't have to stay in yours. You can choose to face it. To ask, what is this pain teaching me? Maybe it's showing you where you've given your power away, or where you've ignored your intuition. Whatever it reveals, it's not here to break you, it's here to build you. Let's be clear, the pain of betrayal is real, and it's okay to feel it. Cry, scream, write it out. Don't bury it, but don't let it define you either. Carl Jung taught that the shadow only has power when we ignore it. When you face it, you take that power back. Lisa did this by journaling about her betrayal, asking herself hard questions. Why did I trust Claire so completely? What part of me needed her approval through this? She began to see her worth didn't depend on Claire's loyalty. It came from within. Her pain became a doorway to self-discovery, not a prison. So, when did betrayal make you question your worth? Think about a moment when someone's actions left you reeling. What did that pain reveal about you? Not your flaws, but your strengths, your depth, your capacity to love. Share your thoughts in the comments. We're all on this journey together. Betrayal may feel like the end, but it's just the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll explore why those who betray you can't escape the cost of their choices. No matter how hard they try, stick with us as we uncover the truth behind their lost peace. You've seen it before. Someone who betrayed you walks away, head held high, acting like they've won. They might post smiling selfies, laugh with new friends, or seem unbothered, as if breaking your trust was just another Tuesday. But don't be fooled by the facade. Carl Jung's wisdom reveals a deeper truth. Those who betray you don't just hurt you, they curse themselves. Their peace, that quiet inner calm we all crave, slips through their fingers the moment they choose disloyalty. In this chapter, we're diving into why betrayers can never truly escape the cost of their actions, how their shadow haunts them, and why the guilt they carry becomes a prison they can't outrun. Let's start with what happens in the betrayer's psyche. According to Carl Jung, every act of betrayal is a manifestation of the shadow, the hidden, unacknowledged parts of ourselves we refuse to face. When someone betrays you, They're often acting out unresolved pain, fear, or selfishness buried deep in their unconscious. Maybe they betrayed you out of jealousy, a need for control, or to mask their own insecurities. Whatever the reason, their shadow drives the act, and it comes at a steep price. Carl Jung believed the unconscious doesn't let us off the hook so easily. When you violate trust, especially the trust of someone who loved you purely, you plant seeds of unrest in your own soul. Those seeds grow into guilt, shame, and a nagging sense of emptiness that no amount of distractions can bury. To make this concrete, let's meet Mark, a 5-year-old entrepreneur from Seattle. Mark and his business partner, Rachel, built a startup from the ground up. Rachel trusted Mark completely, sharing her ideas and pouring her heart into their shared vision. But when a big investor came knocking, Mark saw a chance to take the spotlight. He secretly pitched their project as his own, cutting Rachel out of the deal. The betrayal paid off. He got the funding, the recognition, and a shiny new office. On the surface, Mark looked like he'd won. He posted about his success on social media, celebrated with champagne, and moved on. But at night, alone, things weren't so glossy. Mark started having vivid dreams of being chased through a dark alley, his heart pounding as shadows closed in. He woke up sweating, unable to shake the unease. During the day, he avoided Rachel's calls and dodged mutual friends, unable to face her. Why? Because deep down, his unconscious knew what he'd done. He traded loyalty for ambition, and it left a stain. Carl Jung would say Mark's dreams were his shadow speaking. The shadow doesn't stay silent when you betray someone who was real with you. It shows up in restless nights, in that sudden pang of guilt when you see their name, or in the way you flinch when someone mentions trust. Betrayers might think they've escaped, but their psyche tells a different story. The unconscious, as Carl Jung taught, is like a mirror. It reflects the truth you try to hide. When you break someone's trust, you break a piece of yourself, too. That's why betrayers can't find peace. They might fake a smile, chase new thrills, or surround themselves with people who don't know their story. But the shadow follows. It's in the quiet moments, when the noise of the world fades, that they feel the weight of what they've lost, not just you, but their own integrity. This is where the article's core truth shines. Betrayal is spiritual theft. When someone betrays you, they don't just steal your trust, they rob themselves of peace. Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious adds another layer. Betrayal isn't just a personal act, it's a violation of the universal bond of trust that connects us all. When someone breaks that bond, they disrupt their own connection to something sacred. That's why Mark couldn't sleep, why he avoided Rachel's gaze. She wasn't just a business partner, she was a mirror of the loyalty and goodness he'd forsaken. Every time he saw her, he saw his own shadow, and it haunted him. But here's the flip side. You, the betrayed, don't have to carry their burden. Their guilt isn't your responsibility. Carl Jung believed that when we act against our values, we create a kind of psychic debt, a tension in the soul that demands resolution. For betrayers, the debt shows up as restlessness, shame, or an inability to look you in the eyes. You've probably noticed it the way they avoid you, not out of hate, but because you remind them of their failure. You're a living symbol of the trust they broke, and that truth is too heavy for them to face. This isn't about revenge, it's about understanding that their actions have consequences, even if you never see them admit it. So, what does this mean for you? It means you can let go of the need to see them suffer. Their punishment isn't your job. It's built into the fabric of their psyche. Carl Jung's work reminds us that the unconscious always seeks balance. When someone betrays you, they tip the scales, and their soul pays the price. You, on the other hand, I have a choice. Stay stuck in their shadow, or step into your own light. We'll explore how to do that in the next chapter. But for now, think about this. Have you ever noticed someone avoid you after betraying you? What did their silence or distance tell you about their inner struggle? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your story might resonate with someone else. In Chapter 3, we'll dive into how you can heal from betrayal using Carl Jung's powerful shadow work. Stay with us. The path to your peace starts here. Betrayal leaves scars that linger sleepless nights, racing thoughts, and a heart that feels like it's been shattered. You've been there, wondering how to move forward when someone's broken your trust. It's tempting to stay stuck, replaying the pain or blaming yourself for not seeing the signs. But Carl Jung offers a radical path to healing shadow work. This isn't about forgetting the betrayal or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about facing the wound head-on, diving into the parts of yourself you've ignored, and turning pain into wisdom. In this chapter, we'll explore how Carl Jung's shadow work can help you heal from betrayal. Stop carrying the weight of someone else's choices, and reclaim your peace as a powerful act of self-discovery. Let's start with what shadow work is. Carl Jung taught that the shadow is the hidden part of your psyche, your fears, insecurities, or unhealed wounds you push away. Betrayal doesn't just hurt because of what they did. It stings because it triggers your shadow, stirring up doubts about your worth or fears of being unloved. Shadow work is the process of facing those hidden parts, not to shame yourself, but to understand and integrate them. Instead of asking, "Why did they betray me?" shadow work asks, "What is this pain teaching me about myself?" It's a shift from victimhood to empowerment, from being defined by the betrayal to using it as a catalyst for growth. To bring this to life, let's meet Anna, a 29-year-old teacher from Denver. Anna's world crumbled when her partner of 5 years, Tom, cheated on her with a close friend. The double betrayal by her lover and her confidant left Anna spiraling. She felt worthless, wondering if she'd been too trusting or not enough to keep Tom's love. The pain consumed her, showing up in restless nights and a constant ache in her chest. A friend suggested Jungian therapy, and Anna began exploring shadow work through a practice called active imagination. She sat quietly, closed her eyes, and visualized her pain as a dark figure in a storm. "Why are you here?" she asked. The figure replied, "To show you your strength." Over weeks, Anna dialogued with this figure in her journal, uncovering a hidden fear of abandonment rooted in her childhood. By facing it, she realized her worth didn't depend on Tom's loyalty. It came from within. This is the power of shadow work. It transforms betrayal's pain into a mirror for self-discovery. Carl Jung believed that every wound holds a lesson, and betrayal is no exception. When someone betrays you, they don't just break your trust, they expose parts of your shadow you've avoided, like a need for approval or a fear of being alone. Facing these truths isn't easy, but it's liberating. Shadow work isn't about fixing yourself, it's about embracing all of you, even the parts that hurt. By doing so, you stop carrying the betrayer's choices as your burden. Their actions become a footnote in your story, not the headline. So, how do you start shadow work? First, feel the pain without judgment. Don't push it away or pretend you're over it. Cry, scream, or write a letter you'll never send. Let it out. Carl Jung believed emotions are the language of the unconscious, and suppressing them keeps you stuck. Next, ask what the pain reveals. Grab a journal and write, What is this betrayal showing me about myself? Maybe it's a pattern of trusting too quickly or ignoring red flags. Be honest, but don't judge. Finally, engage with your shadow. Try active imagination like Anna did. Picture your pain as a figure, a place, or a symbol. Ask it, what do you want me to know? Write down what comes up, even if it feels strange. These practices don't erase the betrayal, but they shift its power. Instead of being a wound that defines you, it becomes a teacher that strengthens you. Carl Jung's concept of individuation ties this together. Individuation is the journey to become your true self by integrating your shadow. Betrayal, as painful as it is a crucible for this process. It forces you to confront your deepest fears and emerge stronger. Anna, for example, I didn't just heal from Tom's betrayal, she discovered a resilience she never knew she had. She started setting boundaries, trusting her intuition, and building a life that reflected her worth. Her pain wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a deeper relationship with herself. This isn't about rushing to get over betrayal. Healing takes time, and that's okay. Shadow work is a gentle process, one that honors your pain while guiding you toward peace. It's about saying, this hurt me, but it won't hold me. Every step you take, every journal entry, every moment of honesty reclaims a piece of your soul. You're not just surviving betrayal, you're transforming it into wisdom, strength, and self-love. So, what's one step you've taken to heal from a betrayal? Maybe you've journaled, talked to a friend, or simply let yourself cry. Share your story in the comments. Your journey could inspire someone else. In the next chapter, we'll explore why your loyalty, far from being a weakness, is a sacred strength that sets you apart. Stay with us as we uncover how to wear your loyalty like a crown. In a world that often celebrates quick wins, shallow connections, and self-interest, loyalty feels like a rare gem, a quality that's mocked as naive or taken for granted. If you've been betrayed, you might wonder if your loyalty was a mistake, a flaw that left you open to pain. But Carl Jung's wisdom flips that script loyalty isn't a weakness, it's a sacred strength, a divine spark that sets you apart. Your ability to love deeply, stand firm, and stay true even when it hurts, is a superpower rooted in your soul's integrity. In this chapter, we'll explore why loyalty is a cornerstone of Carl Jung's vision for a meaningful life, how it reflects your inner resilience, and how to protect this gift without losing yourself. Let's start with what loyalty really is. Carl Jung's psychology sees loyalty as more than a choice. It's an expression of your authentic self, the part of you that aligns with truth and purpose. When you stay loyal, you're not just honoring another person, you're honoring your own values. Even when the world tempts you to compromise, betrayal stings because your loyalty was pure, a reflection of your capacity to see the best in others, to build trust where others sow doubt. Carl Jung would say, this comes from your ability to face your shadow, the fears and insecurities that betrayers often let control them, and choose integrity instead. Loyalty is a refusal to let your shadow dictate your actions, even when you've been hurt. It's why you stayed when others would have walked, why you believed in someone's potential when they couldn't see it themselves. That's not foolish. That's heroic. To make this real, let's meet David. A 40-year-old software developer from Atlanta, David poured his heart into his team at work, mentoring younger colleagues and sharing credit for their successes. But one coworker, Ethan, betrayed him by taking David's innovative project proposal and pitching it to their boss as his own. The betrayal hit hard. David felt used. His trust in teamwork shattered. For weeks, he questioned his approach. Why did I give so much? Was I too trusting? But through a Jungian workshop, David began to see his loyalty differently. Using active imagination, he visualized his loyalty as a radiant shield, protecting not just others but his own soul. In meditation, he asked, "What does my loyalty mean?" The answer came clear. It's your anchor, your truth. David realized his loyalty wasn't a flaw, it was a testament to his character, a strength that Ethan's betrayal couldn't diminish. Carl Jung's concept of individuation, the journey to become your whole self, helps us understand this. Individuation requires integrating your shadow, including the pain of betrayal, to live authentically. Loyalty is a key part of this process because it reflects your commitment to truth. Even in a world that often rewards deception, when you stay loyal, you're not just building relationships, you're building yourself. Betrayal doesn't negate your loyalty, it highlights its rarity. The betrayer may have walked away, but they lost something priceless: your steadfast presence. You, on the other hand, carry the strength of knowing you stayed true, even when it cost you. But let's be honest, loyalty can feel like a burden after betrayal. You might wonder if it's worth it to keep giving when others take. Carl Jung would remind us that loyalty isn't about blind devotion, it's about discernment. Your loyalty is sacred, but it deserves a home that honors it. Betrayal teaches you to protect your energy, to choose who's worthy of your trust. This doesn't mean closing your heart or becoming cynical. It means being loyal to yourself. First, your values, your boundaries, your growth. When you do that, your loyalty becomes a beacon, attracting those who match your depth and repelling those who can't. How do you cultivate this sacred strength? Start by honoring your loyalty. Reflect on moments when you stayed true. Maybe you supported a friend through a crisis or stood by your principles despite pressure. Write them down and see them as badges of courage. Next, set boundaries. Loyalty doesn't mean saying yes to everyone. Practice saying no to those who disrespect your trust, and yes to those who reciprocate your energy. Finally, reframe betrayal as a lesson. Carl Jung believed every wound is a teacher. Ask yourself, what did this betrayal teach me about my loyalty? Maybe it showed you where to draw lines or how to trust your intuition. These steps don't erase the pain, but they transform it into strength. David's story shows this in action. After Ethan's betrayal, David didn't shut down. He joined a community of developers who valued collaboration, where his loyalty was met with respect. He set clearer boundaries at work, sharing ideas only with those who earned his trust. Through this, David didn't just heal, he grew. His loyalty became a conscious choice, not a reflex, and it attracted genuine connections. Carl Jung would call this individuation, using betrayal's pain to become more fully yourself. Your loyalty is a crown, not a chain. It's a strength that the world needs, especially in a time when trust feels endangered. By staying true, you're not just surviving betrayal, you're showing others what it means to live with integrity. So, who in your life has shown you true loyalty? Maybe it's a friend who stood by you, or even yourself. Staying true to your values through pain. Share your story in the comments. Your experience could light the way for someone else. In the next chapter, we'll explore how gratitude, even for the pain of betrayal, can set you free. Stay with us as we uncover the path to your deepest peace. After betrayal, it's easy to get stuck in a loop of why me? Why did they hurt you? Why weren't you enough? Those questions don't heal, they haunt, keeping you tethered to pain. Carl Jung offers a transformative way out: gratitude. Not the shallow kind you force with a fake smile, but a deep, soul-level gratitude that reframes betrayal as a teacher, not a tormentor. It sounds radical, maybe even impossible to say thank you to the pain that broke your heart. But Carl Jung's psychology shows us that gratitude is the key to integrating your shadow, turning wounds into wisdom, and finding true freedom. In this final chapter, we'll explore how gratitude unlocks healing, why it's the ultimate act of reclaiming your power, and how it sets you free from betrayal's grip. Let's unpack this. Carl Jung believed that every crisis, including betrayal, is a call to individuation, the journey to become your whole, authentic self. Betrayal forces you to face your shadow, your fears, insecurities, or need for approval. Gratitude doesn't erase the pain, it shifts your perspective, helping you see the lessons hidden within it. Instead of asking, "Why did they betray me?" gratitude asks, "What did this teach me about my strength?" This shift is powerful. It stops you from giving your power to the betrayer's actions and puts it back in your hands. By saying thank you to the pain, not because it felt good, but because it woke you up, you break free from its hold and step into a new chapter of your life. To make this real, let's meet Maria, a 5-year-old nurse from Miami. Maria's family betrayed her during a heated dispute over her late mother's estate. Her siblings, whom she'd supported through tough times, sided against her, spreading lies to secure a larger share. The betrayal cut deep, leaving Maria feeling abandoned and unworthy. She spent months replaying their words, wondering what she'd done wrong. A Jungian coach introduced her to the idea of gratitude as a healing tool. At first, Maria resisted. How could she be grateful for such pain? But she tried a practice called gratitude journaling. Each night, she wrote one thing the betrayal taught her. "Thank you for showing me who I can trust. Thank you for pushing me to stand up for myself." Over time, Maria saw the betrayal as a catalyst. It forced her to set boundaries, pursue her own path, and build a life aligned with her values. The pain didn't vanish, but it lost its power to define her. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow helps explain why gratitude works. The shadow holds the parts of you that betrayal exposes, like fear of rejection or a tendency to overgive. Ignoring these parts keeps you stuck. Embracing them through gratitude sets you free. When you thank the betrayal for revealing your blind spots, you integrate your shadow, turning pain into growth. Maria, for example, realized her need to please others had made her vulnerable. By thanking the betrayal for this lesson, she reclaimed her self-worth and stopped seeking validation from those who didn't deserve her trust. Gratitude wasn't about excusing her siblings' actions, it was about refusing to let their choices control her peace. So, how do you practice gratitude after betrayal? Start small. Acknowledge the pain without judgment. Write it down or say it out loud. "This hurt, and that's okay." Next, find one lesson. In a journal, write, "What has this betrayal taught me?" Maybe it's to trust your gut or to value yourself more. Even one insight is a step toward healing. Finally, write a gratitude letter. Address it to the betrayal itself. "Thank you for showing me my resilience. Thank you for teaching me to choose myself." You don't have to send it, just let the act of writing shift your perspective. These practices don't erase the hurt, but they reframe it as a stepping stone to a stronger you. Carl Jung's idea of individuation ties this together. Individuation is about becoming whole by embracing all parts of yourself, including the pain of betrayal. Gratitude is the bridge that takes you there. It's not about pretending everything's fine. It's about seeing the betrayal as part of your journey, not the end of it. Maria's gratitude practice didn't change her siblings, but it changed her. She moved to a new city, pursued a promotion, and surrounded herself with people who valued her loyalty. Her betrayal became a turning point, not a tombstone. Carl Jung would say, this is the alchemy of the soul, turning the lead of pain into the gold of wisdom. This process takes courage. Saying thank you to betrayal doesn't mean you're grateful it happened. It means you're grateful for the strength it revealed. You're not defined by what they did. You're defined by how you rise. Every time you choose gratitude, you take back your power, proving that their betrayal was a lesson, not a life sentence. You're not just healing, you're becoming. So, what has betrayal taught you about your strength? Maybe it showed you how deeply you can love, or how fiercely you can stand. Share your story in the comments. Your journey could inspire someone else to find their freedom. In our final chapter, we'll wrap up this journey with a powerful call to rise above betrayal and wear your peace like a crown. Stay with us as we close with a truth that will set you free. Betrayal may have shattered your heart, but it didn't break your spirit. Through this 40-minute journey, we've uncovered Carl Jung's profound truth. Those who betray you don't just steal your trust, they lose their peace, haunted by their own shadow. But you're not defined by their choices. You've seen how betrayal's pain is a call to face your shadow, how shadow work turns wounds into wisdom, how loyalty is your sacred strength, and how gratitude sets you free. You're not a victim of betrayal, you're a warrior, rising stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever. Carl Jung taught us that every crisis, like betrayal, is a step toward individuation, becoming your true self. The pain you felt wasn't punishment. It was preparation, forging you into someone who knows their worth and wears their loyalty like a crown. The betrayers may walk away, but they carry the weight of their choices. You, on the other hand, carry light that no one can dim. So, let go of the why me and embrace the who I'm becoming. Your story doesn't end with betrayal. It begins with your rebirth. Now, it's your turn. How has betrayal shaped your journey? What lesson, strength, or moment of gratitude has it sparked in you? Share your story in the comments below. Your words could light the way for someone else. If this video spoke to your soul, hit that like button, subscribe to Jung Psyche Hub, and tap the bell to join our community of truth seekers. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message, because healing is contagious. Let's keep exploring the depths of the human psyche together. Thank you for being here, for staying true, and for rising above. Your peace is your power. Own it, and let it shine.